But then, of course, there's the question of this next wave coming. I'm not sure if it's the 78th wave or the 5th wave, but let's have a look at the data and see, do we have another wave on the way? And I've got my own little spreadsheet that I've been using throughout this pandemic. Initially I created it as a sort of boring workbook that was just messy. Wow, it was so messy. But I turned it into something nice, which hopefully you can use as well. So let's see. This is updated at the 28th of April. So for me to update this, and I mean, if you want a copy, like I'll leave a link where you can download this in the description of this YouTube video. So I'll leave a link there so you can download this workbook. But all you do is go to data, hit refresh all, and we'll go do the things that it needs to do and calculate, and we'll come back with a magic sort of update of where we are as at the 3rd of May. Okay, cool. So what we can see here with this chart on top, because we're on the 3rd of May, this graph shows you the current month, so you don't have to worry about choosing anything at a point in time. But when I look at this graph, I can really see the trend is kind of flattening down. Don't worry about the blanks there. And we see is the wave averted, which is really what we want to see. If we look at particular provinces, if we go to KZN, which is always the big offender, we can basically see this is in May again, the current month, and this is over all time. We see the data sort of trending. April was a big lift. If we look at this data here, April was a big lift for KZN. Let's look at Gauteng. Again, similar thing. If we take off all the provinces, we just look at everything. Again, for every month this year, besides Jan, we've been, more than it was last year. There have been more active positive cases than there were in the same period for last year. So for the same month last year, consistently, it's been worse. But the question really is, are we currently expected to go into another wave? So if I look at this detail, we've got 2022, we've got April selected. This goes into the end of April. We can see that it was pretty flat for most of the month, and then on the 20th we start to see this rise. So this red line that we're looking at here, this is the new cases, the 7-day average, which is a better way of measuring things. So you take away all the funkiness and the sort of rising shines here that we have. And so overall, let's see, this is for all provinces across South Africa. We do see this trend rising. Now, if we take a look at 2021, and we kind of look at the March and April data together, you can see that there were peaks and valleys all over the show. If we look just as an overview, we look at April, May, June. That's where we saw that big jump in numbers where the third wave hit us. So if we just have a look at this detail, so April, May, June. So let's go April and May. You can see very similar trend than what we have right now in April month. So we look at 2022. So that trend again, looking very similar to the 2021 and 2022 graph. So this is a full month of May that we have, April and May, and so we take that into context. If we just look at April, numbers were kind of at 1,200, so not as much. But then in May we have this upward tick, and in June this keeps rising, and these numbers here are increasing. So we look at the 3 months. That's what it looked like for a wave to be in effect. We saw those increases. Now in 2022 we only have April. We're still coming, and the question is really, is there a wave on the way? So the average is still going up. We do have this dip here in terms of the recent positive cases that have been recorded for the 1st and the 2nd of May that have come down, but that 7-day average is still going up. So what will government do? I really don't know. This is not exciting, but it is exciting. I'm a data geek, so looking at this data and trying to look at what's happening. Again, Gauteng, guys, come on, man, get your act together here. Actually, I've noticed a lot of the radio stations based in Gauteng have gotten their teams to work from home, so we're kind of back in that mode where they're working from a home or broadcasting from their respective homes rather than coming into the studio. So being cautious from the outset, like, well done. I don't know where I'm at with that. I don't want to get people sick, but I'm also like, not downplaying, overplaying COVID, effects of COVID, but I don't know anymore. Like, does the vaccine work? I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. And maybe you know, but I don't. So I look at this thing. I look at the data here in terms of comparing the current period to the previous period where we did see a wave hit us. So here we've got April with the numbers all below 5,000, by the way, quite low. And in 2022, so we see these numbers. We see the 5,000 already, this mark being hit at 5,000. Look at 2021 again. 5,000 cases, sort of only the average. Like, here we go. Like in June, early June, and we are now at the end of April and we've already hit that number. So we just take sort of Feb, March and April of 2022 to see what's going on. So again, we've come down from that 3,000 and look at that spike. I don't know, it's a tough one to call. It's looking wavish. I just look at this data and I look at this trend, it's looking wavish to me. So that'll be interesting. So I am really interested about what the government's going to do with this lift. Remember, we looked at it and we said in the government speech is that once that public, so not the public, so, is that the measures will lapse after 30 days. So is it still going to lapse, or are we going to see a resurgence and a pullback of that lifting, or some new sort of level 17 lockdown status sort of making a comeback, for our own good? By the time you've watched this, maybe we've got different news. Maybe there's an announcement coming, because we first need the announcement of the announcement before there's actually an announcement. So that'll be cool to see, is what's going to be happening, what's the president going to say, what is the country going to say, what are you going to say? And I can't wait to hear that down in the comments all over the show. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to hear. Awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll get the sales plan. That's my next video. It's coming. Oh no, I'm not supposed to tell you. It's a secret, but it's not. So if you're interested in following some of my videos and the series about sales, please click subscribe and make sure to like this video if you want others to see it, and comment and maybe give me crap about the waves in my silly Excel workbook. And also, if you want a copy of the workbook, all the links are in the description below, or just head to my website, richardtalks.co/COVID, and you get all the details there. Thanks for watching, and my name has been Richard, and this has been awesome. Cheers.